even eat yet. Does Loki eat? Does he get snacks? I mean, Thor got fat, so. Hey guys, it's your girl Alicia, aka Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to Loki. Welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome to the channel. I am so excited to get into episode 2 of this because the premiere was everything. So, I want to make a quick correction. In the last reaction that I did, I actually misheard what was said around the variant that Morboki mentioned. I heard that he said that the variant was chasing Loki when really he said that the variant is Loki. And that makes so much more sense because as we saw in our cute little animation last episode, when Loki traveled back in time and broke the master timeline, he created an excess event, which means that there's already a bunch of other timelines that have already been created, and it looks like one of them spawned a dark Loki, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm all for this. Very much looking forward to seeing how this is going to unfold throughout the season. Gonna jump into this reaction right away, but before we do, please, if you are interested in seeing more from this geeky face and following me along on this journey with Loki, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you can be notified when I do more of these reactions and all the other types of shows that are just like this. I've reacted to WandaVision and to Falcon and Winter Soldier already, so if you're interested in those kind of things, join the fam. We would love to have you. All right. That out of the way, guys, let's get into Loki right about now. Is this a shanty? Because I'm down.
Hi.
They're like, wrong cosplay. This soundtrack, are you kidding? Loki! And since when has he been able to do this? Okay, sis! Locks flying in the breeze, I love it! Oh, okay. Short turn. Come on, everybody. This song choice when he is doing this. Don't hurt her, Loki. Was a hell of an intro.
Come on, Loki. What is it?
Miss Minutes?
Are you recording or are you alive?
Sort of both. Watch it. Where's your manners? Oh, hey, quit it.
Why are you like this? Okay, I'm really liking Loki just kind of dressed like a little office man right now. I don't hate it. I mean, it's no Asgardian leather, but...
Because the TVA has pruned a lot of these guys, almost more than any other variant. The two are alike, slight differences in appearances, or... Why not? Because you already know that we can catch you, and how's betraying us going to get you any closer to the timekeepers?
He does know you.
Timekeepers on the table. Keep that focus.
I like this team up because Mobius actually seems like he's on the same speed as Loki as far as thinking, which is refreshing.
I have a new purpose. I'm a servant of the sacred timeline, and knowing what I now know about his tactics, I can deliver you the variant.
Loki. The schemes within schemes!
Yeah, me for a second. My ears are sharp, too.
Are they? Because if I've learned anything about Loki, it's that he often speaks in double truths. So there was probably a grain of reality in what he just said.
Insubordinate, stubborn, unpredictable. Sounds like someone else I know.
I was just thinking it sounds like someone.
Like attracts like.
Mr. Ramona, I'm sorry. I realized.
What an interesting thing for them to focus on.
This Loki. Maybe he wants to mix it up. Sometimes you get tired of playing the same part. Is that possible?
Ooh, I like that line.
Timekeepers to create.
He's got.
The timekeepers are monitoring every aspect of this case. I've never seen them so involved. They want that variant caught.
So do I.
Loki's got him scared.
Great, that's all.
That is amazing.
Would motivate you to find the killer. Not because you care about the TVA mission or being a hero, but because you know this variant is better than you. And you can't take it.
God, it's true though.
I'll give you two options, and you can believe whichever one you want. A, because I see a scared little boy shivering in the cold. And you kind of feel bad for that ice runt. Or B,
Ice runt.
catch this.
Why is Mobius so savage though? I love it. Yeah, this is good because Loki is a patterned person. Like what he does is the same thing he does over and over. And he has to break that pattern to figure out what this other version of himself is doing. And Mobius calling him on all this and being smart enough to do that is probably exactly what he needs to push past that.
Let me park you at this desk, and don't be afraid to really lean into this work. Here's a good trick for you. Pretend your life depends on it. Okay, Snap.
Loki's like, I don't do manual labor. I'm a god.
Don't tell me the variant ambushed and killed another team of men. They stole their reset charge as well.
Oh, shush yourself. I love Tom. I love him so much. Oh no, he doesn't know. I don't think he saw that in that reel. He only saw them fighting. No, there was a few that survived until Thanos showed up.
He's hiding in apocalypses.
Which apocalypse? Any time in history, there's like a million of them.
Wow.
Let's just say
What are you doing?
your salad is Asgard.
No,
In this.
not Asgard. That's
it's
my
available.
lunch.
Just hang in.
I want that
This
salad.
is so Owen Wilson. I love it.
2 hours. Set fire to the palace.
No, just stop. Don't set fire to the
He
palace.
just had to destroy the salad.
Whatever I want to do. And it would never matter. It wouldn't go against the dictates of the timeline.
Such a jerk.
There it is.
What am I looking at?
Okay, it was a
Gross salad.
The variant could be hiding in the apocalypse and do whatever he wants, and we wouldn't know.
Genius.
No best.
I never studied
His
him.
face.
That's such a boring form of betrayal.
I've studied almost every
Hello?
your entire life.
Coulson is
Literally
gagging. I love this. I love seeing and them showing how smart Loki is because he literally is a genius.
anything we do can create a huge branch.
Mobius, you're making the end of the world sound boring.
Listen, I'm not meant to be here.
He's like, I'm a god of mischief. Let me enjoy this.
Loki!
Why would he release goats? I don't understand. I love that he's enjoying this. This is amazing. I haven't seen him eat yet. Does Loki eat? Does he get snacks? I mean, Thor got fat, so.
Because if you think too hard about where any of us came from, who we truly are, it sounds kind of ridiculous. Existence is chaos. Nothing makes
So
any
true.
sense, so we try to make some sense of it.
We have no idea how creation actually happens, even now.
Gave me all because the TVA is my life, and it's real because I believe it's real.
Facts. Woo, there's some deep knowledge being dropped in this episode, too.
No more Nexus events, just order, and we meet in peace at the end of time. Nice.
Sounds blissful, I think.
No chaos. It sounds boring.
I was about to say humanity and the absence of chaos is not possible.
Let's make it a competition. See who finds it. Okay. What do you want to bet something?
Yeah.
Gentleman's bet. Yeah, let's play for pride. Okay, may the best man win. Go.
I love this. I love that somebody's actually challenging Loki on some level that's close to where he is. I think he's craved this his entire life, to be honest.
Come on, you don't see me usually this worked up, right? I'm excited. I'm chomping at the bit.
He's so cute. Aww.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
That's why he wants to do it. It's go big or go home. Y'all wouldn't have figured out that hole in your defenses if you hadn't trusted Loki. Trusted.
Just in case.
Absolutely not.
Oh! Come on! Let him have some fun!
So keep an eye out for the missing charges. And if you see a Loki, prune it.
Oh my God, ma'am. I love you because you're a sister, but you need to calm down with the pruning. You're too happy to kill people. It's gonna come back to you, man. Some karma coming your way.
Try to hang on to your time collar this time.
We'll see you in the showroom.
Damn, you didn't have to do that, Mobius. You had to do that. Sister's still hot over that whole situation. You know it. Oh, you're already too late. Of course he expected you. I love this cat of mouse that's going on because the future Loki knows that the old Loki's gonna figure him out. Uh-oh. 20 minutes to what? Did Loki seriously miss that magic?
Me, I presume.
Huh?
Please. If anyone's anyone, you're me.
Yep, it's Loki.
Are you going to call your little friends for help?
Ooh, the badge. Sorry, not what I should have taken from that scene.
If you could possibly sheathe your smile for a moment for you, that's why I found you.
He's so annoyed with himself. I love this.
I could use a qualified lieutenant.
You think he's gonna be your lieutenant?
Assume you mean
Me, Loki.
oh, don't call me that.
Oh.
You can call me Randi.
Welcome back, sis. Oh no, she's gonna think Loki did, well, he did. Wow, this is confusing. Cause he did, but he didn't.
Thank you for helping me stall for time. You really do love to hear yourself talk.
Right, Loki, you said this about yourself and you forgot that this is exactly what he was doing. Come on, my guy. Vacuum? Who would ever thought that the god of mischief would resort to household appliances? Use magic. What are you doing? Use your magic.
What do you want from me?
Oh. You know, I kind of like that future Loki's leveled up a bit.
What is this about?
Lady!
Isn't about you.
Lady Loki!
Right.
So what happens if he stops this event from happening? Is that what he's trying to do? She. That's a lot of charges! Oh my god! Oh, he's sending them to the TV.
Where are they going?
Where do you think? Multiverse madness, baby! I should have known. A woman would be the smarter one. I should have known a woman would be this smart. Come on now, let's give us some props. Interesting that he didn't even try to stop her. But should he? Interesting. Oh, what an ending! No! Things got interesting real quick. Oh my gosh, hold on. Is this it? Woo! Chile! No, y'all! What? Lady Loki! Wow, this dips into all kinds of things. I'm definitely going to have to watch the Easter egg video for this episode because I have some theories, but there's a channel that does a much better job of it. And I think I'm actually going to record a reaction to it because I've watched them for Falcon and Captain America, but I didn't watch it for this one yet. But, man, at the ending, like, part of me was like, Loki, don't follow her. But at the same time, Loki knows that she set him up. Like, there's no way the TVA is going to think that he didn't do half the stuff that happened at that event. And now there's this revolving question of, did Loki actually find her? Or did she set the trap for Loki to find her? Oh my god. This show is going to have my mind reeling, and I love it. It's so intellectual, and it's such a change because I don't want to say that Marvel is not like an intellectual brand, but let's be real, a lot of the movies, with the exception of maybe probably like Age of Ultron, not a lot of the movies have really been such a cerebral plot, if that makes sense. A lot of it has been based on powers and strength and, you know, world domination plots. This one is so much bigger than that, and it's so, like I said, it's so cerebral. We're playing on a ground that has nothing to do with powers, abilities, gods, infinity stones. Like, it's just all about literally a match of wits. It's very Sherlock Holmesy, actually, where we've got like Moriarty versus Holmes, right? In this case, Randi or Lady Loki and Loki of the past. And I love this because, again, I'm completely theorizing at this point, because I know that in the comics, and also I believe in Nordic lore, both Thor and Loki could gender bend. They would sometimes appear as the opposite gender, not opposite, the other gender. Sometimes in the manifestations, they would come in as either a man or a woman, and that's something that all of the gods, even Odin, would sometimes be a woman if he decided to manifest on Earth. But I'm wondering if this really is a Loki, like maybe, but we see like the magic, right? The green colored magic, which is the color of Loki's magic. But we've never seen Loki project his, like, that's why I was saying when we saw at the beginning of the episode where she touched the brain of that one agent who we saw at the end again, I'm like, Loki's never done that. Like, when he was mind controlling people, he used the Mind Stone to do it. He didn't do it himself. Like he said at the beginning of the episode, his magic has pretty much been teleportation, astral projection, or projecting a duplicate, as he put it, and also illusions, like creating illusions for people to see. We've never seen him actually be able to manipulate people's thoughts or really take over their entire minds. So it's not to say that Loki couldn't develop that, or maybe that's something that Loki would eventually learn how to do if he had a different life. But it very much kind of maybe leans to the fact that maybe this isn't Loki, or this isn't fully a Loki. Maybe this is somehow a child or some kind of part of Loki that's in this person. I have so many more questions now, guys. But the one thing that seems to remain is that genius intellect, that smart brain, and that mind for mischief, as it were. Oh, there's so many things I loved about this episode, honestly. And what I think I'm going to love about this series is, even in this episode, we had very little action, right? Compared to a lot of the other shows we've seen so far. Actually, it's a bit like WandaVision like that, because WandaVision didn't really have a lot of action per se either. We're just seeing things in the world of Loki and the way that things work for Loki and what's important for Loki, right? Loki does not, as we saw in this episode, he's not a physical fighter. That is not his strength. He's not the guy who does fisticuffs. He's all about this. He's all about magic, illusions, toying with people, and using his very sharp intellect to stay one step or even 10 steps ahead of his opponent. And what I love is that Mobius's character is really close to Loki. Like, I don't know if I would call them equals at this point. I just love that Mobius and Loki are kind of on the same playing field of having that mental repertoire, like having those really deep and quick-witted conversations, because like I said, I think Loki has been craving this, because as he mentioned in his long spiel when they were at the fair, growing up on Asgard, he was like, everyone around me was like, he's like, they were all dummies. Like, he was being very, very mean. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he was saying, intellectually speaking, so many of them were not on his level. He's like, they were so arrogant, they were so, hopped up on their, I'm a god, that they really didn't think a lot, and they underestimated people around them a lot. And so, like Loki said, a lot of times I ran circles around them. He grew up all of his life feeling like an outsider for a number of reasons, but I think another one was the fact that he just did not have that intellectual equal. And when you have somebody who is kind of in a different league than everybody else, that's where boredom tends to set in, and that's often when mischief starts to happen as well. Like, I think a lot of why Loki does what he does and acts out the way that he does is because he just wanted attention or to just feel something. Because I don't think he felt a lot of things because he was always surrounded by people who just could not keep up with him or didn't appreciate the level of intellect what he was doing or saying took outside of maybe his mother, which is why I think she has such a special place in his heart. So him getting to get this with Mobius, I genuinely think that Loki respects him and is actually kind of sort of thinking of him as a friend. Not really, obviously not yet, because I think there's still a little bit of distrust between the two of them, but the respect that each of them has for each other is very apparent. And as much as Mobius will never admit it, or Loki, they really do enjoy each other's company, and they are sharpening each other, right? I said that in the episode as well, that Mobius being quick to Loki's crap and really understanding the way that Loki works is pushing Loki to go above and beyond what he's done in the past, because he's never had to work as hard in the past because people couldn't keep up with him. But now he's got someone who's an equal, or at least near an equal, and he's being forced to think more and push harder into his intellect and into his talents so that he can not only stay one step ahead of Mobius, or so he thinks, but also figure out this variant who is clearly also thinking at a level that's a bit above where Loki has been thinking up until this point. So I'm loving their dynamic and how I think it's going to bring out so much out of the both of them. You know, even Mobius talking to the judge, who I can't remember her name. I just think of her real name, Gugu. But anyway, the way he was all worked up and he's like, you haven't seen me like this before. I'm like, I'm so excited. Like, this is the first time in so long I've been so like juiced about something. And I love that. I love seeing that he gets to geek out and finally have somebody he can share that level of intellectual geeking out with in Loki. And so, it was just such a good episode. So many parts that were great. When Loki figured out the fact of that the variant was hiding in these apocalyptic events, right? Going back to Italy and him just having a ball with, you're all gonna die! That mountain's gonna explode! We came for the future! Like, just, again, the chaos god, right? Mischief and chaos are Loki's lifeblood, and I love seeing those moments where he gets to revel in that, because I feel like outside of the first Avengers movie, you don't get to see that side of Loki a lot. And in this context, he wasn't hurting anyone for once, which was nice, but that is what that's one of the things that makes Loki happy, is that kind of chaotic enjoyment. And I just love seeing that in that moment there. And again, where he was getting all worked up about his theory being right. I love that. I love seeing those things shine through in his character. That kind of dovetailed into the conversation he had with Mobius when he was trying to talk about, again, trying to get to the heart of how did the TVA come to be? Why do people believe in the TVA? Why are they not challenging these time lords and what, the kind of decisions that they make in this idea of the ultimate timeline? And, Mobius getting into that whole conversation, that deep conversation around how none of us really understand how we came to be. Like, yes, we understand, let's say if we're taking humans, we understand at a very basic level that that an egg and a sperm have to get together to create a zygote and then a baby comes. But if you go to most sciences, they will tell you they still don't fully understand how that all actually happens. The magic of creation is something that they really don't fully still understand to this day. They still don't understand how the DNA gets created and how things are decided and why this is decided to be this part of this person's DNA and why it's so much of this, the mother's genetic might come through versus the dad's genetic, and how your cells know that eyes have to be eyes and noses have to be noses. And like, human creation is still so much of a mystery to us. And if we think too deep about it, we start to realize we just don't get it. We just accept it. Do you know what I mean? And like he said, the other really huge statement was that my life is real, the TVA is real, all these things are real because I believe them to be real. That is so true. Everything you perceive, no matter who we are in this world, our reality is based on what we choose to believe, period. Which is why if people want to believe that the world is flat, then for them, the world is flat. Again, the more important thing I think that came out of that conversation was when Loki kept asking him, what is the end then? Like you said, everything's written. What is the end? What's the end game? What's the actual objective? And of course, Mobius couldn't answer that. And then he said that even the Time Lords don't know that. that they're constantly fixing things to make it end the way it's supposed to. But really, what he was saying was that we don't know. We have no idea. And that's the truth. No one knows the future, not even these Time Lords, which is a limitation, which shows to Loki and to us as an audience that these time gods are not as omnipotent as they might come out to be. Mobius said that the future is going to be chaos-free. That's where Loki said, see, this is where I know this can't be right, because first of all, humanity is chaos, and secondly, that means there's no place for Loki, who is a chaos maker. So, lots of very interesting things dropped in this episode, and I feel like we're going to flesh out some of them in this series, but I love how they're setting up all this stuff for the next phase of Marvel. I didn't even think in the last episode about the fact that the Spider-Man movie title as well as the Doctor Strange movie title both refer to multiverses, so it's not going to end here. We know that this show is not going to fix anything really as far as getting things back to the master timeline, but the fact that this variant is going after the TVA is very important, I think, because as I said, the fact that we learned in this episode that they don't even know what the future is and that this variant has them worried. Like, a real god ain't worried about ants. You know what I'm saying? So, there has definitely been shown that these Time Lords, the space lizards, as Loki calls them, they're not omnipotent. They're not even gods from the sounds of things. They're super powerful, yes, but they are fallible and they can be potentially overtaken. And that is what Lady Loki seems to be all about, but we'll have to find out. We don't know what her true objective is yet, but my guess is to basically take out the TVA and allow the multiverse to exist again. Because again, I said this in episode 1, why did they get to decide that the multiverse was a bad thing? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they're the bad guys, and them trying to push everything back into one timeline is the problem. We don't know. We're going to find out as the show goes on, but I'm super excited to keep watching it. So yeah, I feel like there's so much more that I missed, but I've talked a lot already. I really enjoyed this episode. Like I said, I think I'm going to be watching the new Rockstars video as well. That's going to explain a lot more, so stay tuned for that. What did you guys think of this episode? What are your theories? What do you know about the comics that I've possibly missed or just don't know? Please leave that in the comments below. I love when you guys comment and get involved in this conversation. So thanks so much for watching along with me, guys. If you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from this geeky face, please click subscribe. Until next time, see ya!